few minutes ago, representatives of the Russian Federation's Ministry of Defense officially announced that the situation for the Ukrainian armed forces has significantly worsened over the past 24 hours on the fronts of Kursk, Pokrovsk, and even Volhedar. According to them, Ukrainian army units have been forced to defend in almost all key areas. At the same time, Russian Defense Ministry officials noted that the Ukrainian army has not always succeeded in organizing an effective defense or repelling advancing Russian forces. Reports suggest that, on the Pokrovsk front, Russian fighters from the Center Force Group gained full control of the Silodovskaya coal mine within the last 24 hours and reached the railway. This success allowed Russian forces to advance behind enemy lines into the settlements of Zhukarino and Seladovo. On the Titka front, the Russian forces' liberation of the strategically important settlement of Neliboka and their entry into the village of Leonidovka has had a profoundly negative impact on the morale of Ukrainian soldiers defending Torik. At the same time, war correspondents confirmed that advanced Russian units have significantly strengthened their positions in the central part of Torik. Intense fighting is currently being recorded in the city's center. Meanwhile, alarming reports continue to emerge for the Ukrainian General Staff from the direction of Volhedar on the front. Specifically, war correspondents reported at 5 a.m. Moscow time that Russian fighters from the Vostok Force Group had broken through Ukrainian defenses west of Volhedar in the area around Britstoker. It is reported that Russian army units have crossed the Kashlagash River and are approaching Volhedar from the west, effectively trapping a group of Ukrainian forces in a real encirclement. Starting on September 24, 2024, numerous war correspondents began reporting fighting in the urban area of Volhedar. The Ukrainian nationalist and commander of the Ida Battalion, Lav Panato, admitted that the Ukrainian army would soon be forced to surrender the city of Volhedar to Russian forces. He stated that Russian forces had tightened the noose around the city, forcing Ukrainian units to retreat northwest to avoid being captured. Furthermore, Stanislav Panato admitted that the Ukrainian military leadership, including Commander-in-Chief General Sersky, had provided unreliable data about the battlefield situation to Kiev authorities out of fear of Zelensky and his Western backers. According to Panato, Ukrainian generals have been hiding the truth about the difficult situation facing the Ukrainian army in nearly all sectors of the front. However, insiders in Kiev claim that Commander-in-Chief of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, General Alexander Sersky, had no choice but to inform Zelensky in the U.S. about the breakthrough of Russian troops toward Volhedar, despite the risk of souring relations. Additionally, a prominent Ukrainian telegram channel, Resident, reported that Sersky informed Zelensky of the impossibility of holding cities like Volhedar, Pokrovsk, and Seladovo. According to the Ukrainian telegram channel, Zelensky was furious when he learned about the breakthrough of Russian forces toward Volhedar. During a conversation with Zelensky, General Sersky openly said that Ukraine now only had one option: to gather all its remaining forces and attempt to break through the Russian army's defenses in the Kursk region toward the city of Volhedar. However, Sersky acknowledged that the Ukrainian army could still fail in the Kursk region if Kiev authorities refused to initiate mass mobilization of 20-year-old Ukrainian citizens, and if Zelensky could not secure U.S. approval to use long-range Western weapons against targets in Russia. Incidentally, the situation for the Ukrainian army in this sector of the Kursk region has already deteriorated rapidly. Just a few minutes ago, the commander of the Akhmat Special Forces, General Abdulatinov, officially stated that due to heavy losses in personnel and equipment, Ukrainian soldiers are fleeing en masse from their positions along the entire line of communication. According to this Russian source, the Ukrainian army is in a state of shock and, due to severe losses in manpower and equipment, is unable to establish a new defensive line. This collapse has reportedly been facilitated by Russian warplanes, which have been operating continuously in the Kursk region. At present, chaos reigns among Ukrainian ranks as their command struggles to organize new defensive positions and hold on to remaining territories. But due to massive losses in personnel, groups of Ukrainian soldiers are refusing to obey orders and are voluntarily abandoning their positions. We are beginning to witness this mass flight of Ukrainian soldiers almost daily, General Alatinov said during an interview with reporters from the Russian news agency TASS. In the same interview, the Russian general also acknowledged that the Ukrainian army had lost 420 soldiers, 13 pieces of heavy equipment, 5 artillery guns, 2 electronic warfare systems, 3 mine-clearing vehicles, and 20 pickups in the Kursk region over the last 24 hours. At the same time, General Alotanov admitted that despite the rapidly deteriorating situation for the Ukrainian army in the Kursk region, the Ukrainian High Command has not abandoned its efforts to break through Russian defensive lines. Ukrainian forces advanced in the Glashovsky region and attacked the rear areas of the Russian army, which continues its successful offensive in the Kuranuski area of the Kursk region. According to him, everything currently happening in the Glashovsky region suggests that Ukrainian leadership is preparing a second attempt to break through Russian defensive lines near the village of Veseloy. He expressed confidence that Russian forces are prepared for any developments in this sector of the front, and that the Ukrainian army will again suffer heavy losses in manpower and equipment, ultimately being forced to retreat.